What's going on, famous entertainer, motivated, educated, Lucky Murray, back with another Gamecock news update. Today, we are speaking about the players who left us, right? And I ain't gonna lie, man, I got really upset about the transfer portal situation, not for the players, but for the politics, right? The politics behind it. But it seemed like in 2025, things are going to really, really change. And I think that this is the last year you see players just dipping out. But I'm also to say that just because you could transfer don't mean you should transfer. Just because the grass is green, it don't mean it's on green on the other side. So we're gonna look at a few guys who left our program, see what they're doing at their other schools. Let's go. Let's look, shall we? Let's look, shall we? Right? We brought 22 players in the transfer portal, but lost 26 players to scholarship. Some of the former Gamecocks were highly regarded, who went to brand new schools, and some others elected to give up the sport at least temporarily, right? Mario Williams. Mario Williams is a guy we picked up from Newberry last year. Did decently well. I think he had like 600 plus yards or whatever. After 1 year, after him saying, "Oh, South Carolina is my dream school," ended up going to Memphis, right? He was named the second team preseason All AAC team and a Dork Walker Award watch list selection. He's the first team running back for the Tigers. Sutton Smith, who had 457 yards from scrimmage last year, is there to take some carries too. So he went down a level, and now he's projected to be all conference. So we'll see what he does at Memphis. Tanner Bailey, Auburn. Bailey left South Carolina and enrolled at Auburn for the spring semester. He is not have a playing football for the Tigers and is only attending as a student. That's sad. That's sad because it's like, you could have just played football. Some of these guys, if they lose their spot, they don't love it no more. They leave. Kawan Banks, UCF. Banks is a projected starter nickel for the Bulls, but has also practiced some at the safety position. Stone Blayton, which was a really good linebacker for us. Mississippi State. Blayton seems locked in a battle for the starting job along with J.P. Purvis, who played the Sam linebacker last year. The two are battling for the starting Mike job. And again, somebody like Stone, it's like you started with us, right? Why go to another school? Yeah. Omega Blake, he's Charlotte. Blake enrolled at ECU for the spring semester but did not fit well with the program. He went back into the portal and ended up at Charlotte, where he is playing under position coach Jason Barnes, a former Gamecock wide receiver. I think Omega probably could have got some burn this year, especially when we don't, other than Harbor, who else is going to play receiver for us, right? We'll see how that goes. Offensive lineman Sidney Fogger, Baylor. Fogger listed at 6'5", 341 pounds for Baylor, is now practicing on the interior. In a recent scrimmage, he worked as a second-team left guard, so he went to be 11. Colton Gaither, unsure. Gaither committed to Gardner-Webb on January 7th of this year, but is not on the roster. He deleted his commitment announcement via his Twitter account. Have not found a landing spot for Gaither. Again, another guy who could have added depth to the position, but instead transferred out. Right now, this kid, I think he was like a 4-star kid. Now he's no longer. Kelton Henderson, unsure, have not found a landing spot for Henderson. Again, one of these kids that thought that just because they got signed to South Carolina, they could transfer. Somebody pick them up. Guess what? People ain't getting picked up. Flex. Hickson, Middle Tennessee. Hickson is a backup for the three-man front defensive, which sees a return the nose and also a junior college player. Receiver Kalik Horton, SC State, nothing substantial to report at this time. Grayson Howard, Florida. Howard is in position battle to start Mike position with the redshirt senior Derek Wingo. Howard got the majority of the reps in the spring. Wingo limited due to injury, right? Mitch Jeter, Notre Dame. Jeter is a sure first starter as play kicker for the Fighting Irish. This was written in one of the 24/7 Sports practice reports about Jeter earlier, right? Let's keep going. Offensive lineman Grayson Maines, Temple. He's doing decent. D-line, DeAndre Martin, Charlotte. Martin, who is now going by Dre, appears on the depth chart. Okay, Xavier McLeod is Georgia. Read through the various Georgia updates. McLeod seems to be fighting for a spot in the rotation, either as a backup as a third-team defensive tackle. Again, another kid. Why do you go to South Carolina? Why did you leave South Carolina to go to Georgia just to fight to even get it on the field? Jadarius Morgan, UAB. Morgan is working in the interior for the Bulls and has a chance to start this season, most likely on the guard position. Keenan Nelson Jr., Ohio State. There hasn't been anything written on by the Ohio State website of substantial about Nelson, right? They say he's a backup strong safety entering preseason camp. He was termed as a death piece. See? Again, another kid that could have played, good rotation minutes, or at least could have started. I think Nelson actually started some games for us last year, if I'm not mistaken. Jalen Nichols, Memphis, started left tackle. He missed the spring. Defensive back Isaiah Norris, North Carolina Central, nothing sustainable. Wide receiver Landon Sampson. Again, another kid unsure, hasn't found a landing spot for him. 4-star All-American out of high school, out of Texas. Left our program and is doing diddly squats, right? Cameron Salin, unsure. Again, same kid. You might as well go JUCO at that point because you're not getting picked up. Xavier Short, Appalachian State. Short was listed as wide receiver on the official Appalachian State football roster. He was not one of the 8 receivers profiled by the App State site when analyzing the depth chart. Again, another kid, tight end, went to App State, dropped down a level, ain't doing nothing. DL Drew, went to USCLA. He says that he's a second teamer. Antoine Wells Jr., Ole Miss, another guy. Wells was supposed to be on track to be healthy for preseason camp, but hasn't practiced recently. On Thursday of this week, he was not practicing and was off to the side riding a stationary bike. He was practicing in practice. He was participating in practice at the start of the camp, right? Devon Westmore, I think that's what it is. Westmoreland, Westmoreland, the highest ranked recruit to ever play Kennesaw State, is working at defensive end for the Owls. So what am I looking at right now? Grass and green on the other side. So these kids, and most deaf to the kids, they got to make the best decision for them. But at the same time, it doesn't pay to go to this transfer portal unless you one of those guys, right? But hey, man, let me see what you think about this in the comment section below. Do you think that some of these guys gonna have success? Write down in the comment section below. Get us an entertainment, motivate, educate, Lucky Murray. Back with the Gamecock news update. Let me know what you think about this comment section below. Like always. Till next time, people.